What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another deck profile here on TCG University for the card game UniVersus. My name's Tam, and today I'm going to be showing you James's Elisabeth deck that he played for the Retro Round 3 Campus Championship. So what is Retro? Great question. Jaskos wanted to put on a big online tournament from every set from the original Red Horizon set all the way up till Standard. So we here at TCG University decided to educate and entertain the good people by showing you what you could possibly play or be possibly playing against. So with that said, let's go ahead and jump into the profile. All right, so Elisabeth, if you haven't seen one of my deck profiles before, basically what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be telling you how the deck wants to work and how it wants to operate, as opposed to the cards inside the deck and reading off what they do verbatim. And so what does Elisabeth want to do? Elisabeth wants to constantly have this incremental advantage by taking any card out of her discard pile and adding it up to her hand. As soon as she has that one momentum, she becomes a massive threat, because whatever cool card that she has in order to break your board or make your life miserable, that's what she's going to pick up. Not to mention, she says after you play an attack, not as a block, your opponent discards the top 8 cards of their cards of their deck. And so we're getting rid of potential resources, potential dangers that Elisabeth could be facing. Maybe you're about to draw a hand of attacks. Well, the top 8 are gone. I will say, and this is super important to say, that this current Elisabeth deck is tri-symboling. What that means is it has at least cards that only share a singular symbol for each character or each card on her character. When you are playing cards inside of your card pool, if you look at, I'll just give the example of Spider Suplex. Spider Suplex shares 2 symbols with Elisabeth. If you look at Let's Cut Loose, which is also in the deck, it only shares 1. I cannot play both of these cards into the card pool at the same time. I am breaking my symbol chain, which means if I have Spider Suplex in my card pool, I cannot play Let's Cut Loose, which is really the danger and at the same time the strength of a deck like this. It gives you a lot of different options, but depending on the scenario you find yourself in, you might not be able to play out as big of and as powerful of turns as you possibly could. Your potential is way higher, but the consistency might be an issue. So with that said, let's go ahead and jump into the deck. So the first thing that I want to talk about is I want to talk about the attacks. We're playing 3 Spider Suplex. This card is our main aggressive attack inside the deck. This is the main attack that we want to play on our turn. It gains us 3 vitality, keeping our vitality nice and high, and it is a throw, meaning that after it is, even if it is fully blocked, it will still deal half damage and then go to my momentum. Really strong whenever my character just wants to have a momentum every turn, as well as it just starts to close out the game. Really, really strong card. The fact that it's a reversal is neat, it's cheeky, but not necessary, because we're playing way better reversals, like Triple Guardian Slasher. Guardian Slasher is the main annoyance of the deck. This is probably the main target that we want to pick up with our first form. Just because pay 4 vitality, attacks can't be played. Pay 4 vitality, I'll end your turn. You don't get to play attacks anymore. And so with Guardian Slasher combined with Spider Suplex every turn, basically I'm paying 1 singular vitality to discard the top 8 cards of your deck, getting rid of your resources, and then you don't get to play the game. And then since I hit you with either my Guardian Slasher or my Spider Suplex, I'm going to be then picking up my Guardian Slasher or Spider Suplex depending on the piece inside of my hand that I am missing. Just having these 2 cards every single turn over and over and over again is just, it feels absolutely abysmal. It just feels really bad. On to the next one, and this is now off of, sorry, we're still on the death symbol. Princess Parry. So Princess Parry is the new version of Guardian Slasher, but Guardian Slasher turns off attacks for the entire turn. Princess Parry takes a really strong attack that my opponent plays and just discards it from the card pool, and then I'm immediately reversaling you. It says all my stuff gains safe, but we don't necessarily care about that. We really just care about once I'm at 13 or less vitality, being at desperation, I just say, you're a really cool attack. All right, we'll get it out of here, and then we'll deal with something else. Our first off-symboled card, we're playing Double Rose Whiplash. This card just says, it's basically like another copy of Elisabeth. Enhance opponent's turn, add a reversal up from my discard pile to my hand. My 2 main combo pieces are both reversals. And so either I can pick up Rose Whiplash or I can pick up either of the 2 main combo starters in order to just make my opponent's turn abysmal. I will say, though, with Rose Whiplash in the card pool, I cannot then respond and play the Guardian Slasher as a reversal. They do not share a symbol. Or I guess they do. Sorry, hold on. Let's talk about it. We've got the all symbol. And so Rose Whiplash has all, and so does Guardian Slasher. So I guess under the all chain, which is the least represented chain inside of the deck, we could play these as reversals. But man, really specific stuff. And then the last attack that we're playing is Double Dragon's Tongue. Inside of Death, we'll get there. This is a Death exclusive card. There are some really cheeky ways to skirt around the cost of this card. And we will for sure get there. And basically what we're attempting to do is I want to play Dragon's Tongue and then blow up everybody's staging area, asterisks. I'm going to leave some of mine, and then it will go to my momentum. And then at the start of my turn, I will first form with Elisabeth, discard on my momentum. My Dragon's Tongue is now in my discard pile. I'll pick it back up and play it. If it was played as my first card, I'll blow everything up again. And so I'm constantly just resetting the board and having a 5 mid for 7 that I'm making you discard the top 8 cards on. And so I'm just getting rid of, when we talk about resource denial, we are getting rid of a ton of resources. This card is super, super solid. On to the actions. So we're playing one spell circle. This does chain on the all symbol, but we don't have the void symbol, and so we can't actually use the enhance. The point of this card is I will always have a momentum. As soon as this card hits my discard pile or my remove from game pile, I'll always have a momentum by discarding a dead card in my hand, an all symboled card or whatever card, and the spell circle then goes to my momentum. I'll first form, discard my momentum, and then now I'm live. It essentially says that I will always get whatever resource. I'll just trade this card out for whatever I need it to be. Up next, we're playing 4 Let's Cut Loose. This is under the all symbol. It says that I get to perfect block one thing. I will, if my opponent plays an attack, I will play my Let's Cut Loose into my card pool under the all chain, add a foundation from my discard pile to my hand, one matching their zone, and then draw an additional card. And then this card gets removed from the card pool. So now my symbol chaining is nice and clean again. Really, really solid utility tool whenever I need to block and reversal. Up next, under Death and Water, we're playing Prepare to Fight. This card just stops multiples. This card is just an all-around catch-22 when it comes to great block. It's got Breaker, and most importantly, it says if I partial block an attack, it deals 0 damage. There's a ton of really good throws inside of the game that are highs or lows, and so this card just stops that from happening, and then I'll play my Guardian Slasher. Right? You don't get to play any more attacks this turn. Not only did your attack not do anything, but now it's over. Under the Death and Water symbol, we are playing one in Yin and Yang. This card does only have one target in the deck, and that is the Rose Whiplash. But with Yin and Yang and Rose Whiplash, I then get to Yin and Yang, pick up Rose, then pick up whatever attack that I need to. It's just an additional option when it comes to good on-block effects. We're playing one Deliverance under the All and Death chain. Enhance or remove, draw a card, not the good ability. Response remove before the damage step of the attack reduces damage to 4. Inside of Retro especially, there's going to be a ton of haymakers going around. Some 30 damage, 40 damage attacks. If you could just... Yeah, it's actually only 4 damage. It can certainly save you in a very sticky situation. Maybe I don't even have to block reversal if my put this damage to 4 puts in work. And it combos with a couple of other cards that we're going to talk about. And the last action we're playing is one Out of Your League, exclusively under the water symbol. Response, lose 3 vitality. After my opponent plays a response, cancel it. Oh, did you want to cancel my reversal? No. Did you want to revoke my enhance? No. Did you want to do this other cool thing that I'm trying to do? No. Just making sure that you don't get to play this ability, and I do. On to my assets. We're playing one Roll. Roll's really solid inside of this deck for 2 reasons. Number 1, it says form, reveal the top 4 cards of your deck, add an asset or character, we don't play extra characters, to your hand, and then discard the remaining. So it fuels my discard engine to try and find more pieces for Elisabeth, as well as it picks up any of these other really awesome assets that I'm going to talk about. It is played under the water chain, and it is kind of like a soft Deliverance. Discard a momentum, which as Elisabeth we're going to have plenty of. Remove it before I die. I don't die. I put its damage all the way to whatever my current vitality is -1. So with Roll, I just get, I'll just remove this and a momentum, and then I'm put at 1 vitality. You have to play at least 1 more attack. Up next, we're playing one Swordfish 2, exclusively under the Death Chain. This card says that it just is basically abort an attack. I'll add this card to my momentum. Man, what a good ability on Elisabeth. And I'll add whatever cool attack you had to your momentum. And so they're going to have to play even more attacks, and that's getting around the Guardian Slasher, Princess Parry, Rose Whiplash, all of these really aggressive reversals. Up next, we're playing one Majijin under Death and Water. Its main ability is Response Commit. After I don't block an attack, you have to play a foundation or pass your turn. You can't constantly string attacks together. Really solid versus good combo techs, and feels really, really good whenever you play the Deliverance. Oh, you're going to play this missile launcher, and it's going to have 33,000 damage. Well, it's only going to deal 4 damage, and you're not allowed to play another missile launcher. You essentially breaker 1 them for the rest of the turn. The after you cycle ability is fine, but it's really in here just for the response. Up next, For some flow cards, we're playing one Crown of Flowers, 3/4 non-block under all three of our symbols. It's an Elisabeth card. After my opponent removes any number of cards from the game, I get to draw 2 cards. And this includes as a cost, this includes as an effect, this includes as whatever. And then enhance remove, if they block this attack, I get to add that attack back to my hand. So if I know I need my Guardian Slasher over and over and over again, I can pop this off. Or more importantly, Elisabeth's making them discard the top 8 cards of their deck every turn, either on my turn or on your turn, depending. And that means they're going to cycle a little quicker. This just means that, like, sometimes I'll discard their top 8. That was the last 8 cards of their deck. They'll remove their 10. I'll respond commit, and now I've just drawn 2 additional cards. Here's some more extra resources in order for me to try and defend myself, or even sometimes on my turn, kill you. One more flow card. We've got double S, double L, as James calls it. It says once per turn, flip a foundation, grab a momentum, only playable if you don't have one. One of the main ways to stop Elisabeth is to stop her from getting this free pick of the litter when it comes to her discard pile. And so with Loka, we just always have a momentum, not to mention whenever I'm throwing attacks or so on and so forth. Only playable under the water symbol. This is really, really good. The other responsibility is kind of dead on the card. And then the last asset that we're playing inside of the deck is Team Elisabeth. Her card, response after my opponent removes one or more cards from the game, by effect, by cost, by whatever. Commit it, grab a momentum, and they lose a momentum. And then commit a foundation, choose a non-attack card in your opponent's discard pile, or remove from the game. Only playable if you've dealt damage this turn. And so I get to selectively get rid of non-attack cards out of the game with things like Punch and Judy, with things like if I don't want to see a revoke, if I know that they're going to be able to pull some character card back up into their staging area, I'm just on every attack that I've done damage, I'm going to start popping and getting rid of these select pieces. On to the foundations. We're going to talk about the 4 groupings of foundations first. And so the first grouping that I have is the aggressive foundations. We've got 4 Mourning the Lost. This card is so good. This card's considered to be a really good flow card just because it says after we play it, we draw a card. But the real killer ability on this card is enhance destroy this foundation. It gets a damage for every 5 cards in my opponent's discard pile. If you remember, the first attack that were played was Spider Suplex, right? So under all 3 symbols, if they've got like 40 cards in the discard pile, I just destroy this for plus 8 damage. And that's if I have 1. I could have all of them, and this is a throw. This puts so much pressure on into the late game when it comes to the throw abilities that we have, not to mention Elisabeth discarding the top 8 every turn. This card is insane. It was banned at one point and is legal inside of Retro. You should definitely be looking at Mourning the Lost as an option. In the same line of thought, last of her line. This says destroy for damage. This says commit for 1 speed for each 10. And it does say Elisabeth enhance if my attack deals damage or ready my character. Man, that's not really the point of this card. It's just for a little extra speed to make sure that I can grab a momentum if maybe my attack is not a throw. And once again, these are played under all 3 of her symbols. Under the water chain, we've got 1 God of Thunder. I'm going to get and put this in the aggressive pile just because it feels really good to just commit and give my attack another plus 2 damage on the reversal. Making my Guardian Slasher just that much scarier is really good, but you could consider it a flow card just because of Destroy a Foundation, Ready, and Block with some really cool thing. A lot of our cards inside this deck want to commit for their abilities, and so getting able to use those abilities twice per turn, like even just look at Last of Her line, hey, plus 2 speed. Because you've got 20 cards in discard pile on my next attack already, and then do it again. Just really gets to double dip on some of the cool things you do. But on to the flow, we've got triple design for combat. Flip, discard a card, draw a card. Played under the death and water chain. Man, I really need to accidentally turn this non-block into a block, and then I'll rip one of these off the top of my deck. Or, hey, I know I'm going to get this card back later anyways. There's no reason for me to hold it in my hand now because I'm Elisabeth. I'll get rid of it now, find a new resource, and then continue to play out the turn. In the very same line, we're playing a double Far Worse Place Than Hell. It is once again under the death and water chain. Response after I play an attack with the reversal keyword. Every single attack in my deck except for Dragon Tongue, flip it, and then draw a card. As well as it gets a little bit of extra damage, but that's such a corner case that it will probably never happen. Up next, flow-wise, a little more draw power. We've got 1 A Sun's Love. We could consider this a flow card, except for the fact that Elisabeth and A Sun's Love don't mesh well with their first forms. Either I get to pick any card I want or a random card off the top of my deck. It's probably going to be any card that I want off Elisabeth. But if I don't have a momentum, the Sun's Love's perfect. Real cool ability on this card is actually this attack loses safe. As I said before, my main game plan is I want to block and then reversal and end your turn. But if you have the safe keyword, as we all know, safe says that this attack cannot be reversaled. It's safe. You get to play cards on your turn, and I can't interact with you. This says that it loses safe. Well, one more thing, it's playable under the all and water chain. Look, a little fun all card. Up next, we're playing for flow 1 Focus Impatient under Death and Water. Response after a block on attack, look at the top 2, and then discard them. This basically just says that I get to guarantee my reversal play while it exists. It's a 1/5 non-block. It's a bit of a win more card. Isn't necessarily needed inside of the deck, but this card just gives you a lot of really good consistency. We do play a ton of bad checks, and it feels really bad having to overcommit foundations when it comes to playing my reversal to end their turn. Onto the momentum train, we're playing 1 second chance under the water symbol. Response commit after the combat phase begins. So after ready, review, draw, combat phase starts. Before I play any forms, cards as forms or whatever, I'm going to take the top card of my deck and put it in my momentum, only if I have 0 momentum. And so this card says commit, use Elisabeth's ability. Wow, what a strong card. Kind of the same line as Strength of Tail, 2/5 response after the ready phase, ready step. Add this card to your momentum. This is after the after I ready. Before I review and draw back up, I then have to pick to add it in. So second chance is significantly stronger when it comes to the reusability, but this card's a 2/5 with a 3 low block, and so it does have a purpose inside of the deck. We're playing 1 reactive style. After an attack, mine or yours deals damage, I'll add this to my momentum. So if you hit me if you partial block me, I'll block and play my card as a reversal. And on either damage, I'm going to grab my momentum and then first form, grab it back up. It could be its own reactive style. That's really neat. As well as a little bit of disruption with just enhance, flip, your opponent discards momentum. Totally fine card. A little more consistency. We're playing double 200 below 0. Response commit after you check a 2 or less. The check gets +2. This card is just I'm playing a ton of bad checks. Maybe basically turn it into a +4 check as opposed to just a 2 check. Could be the thing that saves you. On to defense, we're playing double balance fighter. Responsible for the block step. Let's put that attack speed back to printed so I can play my ending turn reversal. We're playing 1 Nightmare Terror for the same reason. Oh, your low attack, your missile launcher, Nutcracker has got 1,000 speed. Well, actually, it's got 0 speed. I'll block, play my reversal. Your turn's over. We're playing double Ophidiophobia. Flip if this is blocked, which I very prompt to do. It deals no damage. Throws are going to be all over the place inside of the retro format. There's a ton of really solid throws, and Ophidiophobia is one of the best answers under, once again, the water symbol. Playing double wear light under the water symbol. This just says flip. We're gonna go to the block step. You choose an enhance ability on probably you choose an enhance ability on a card that they can't play the enhance ability on. So either a gated ability like Deadlock or Combo or something along those lines, or you play or Deadlock or Desperation, or you make them choose an enhance ability on like a committed foundation, and then you say you have to play that one next or you pass. Since they can't do that, they pass, I pass, and then we go straight to blocks. A little less complicated. We got double high seas adventure under the all and water chain. Response remove after an attack is played. An attack, mine or yours, it gains flash. So I need to make sure that you're not going to give this a bunch of speed because I don't want to use my balance fighter yet. I'll just flash it out. Or you've got Coffee Samba and you're going to stun me and I can't use my cool abilities. Well, nah, I don't think so. Up next, we've got double caught red-handed as a disruptive play under just the water symbol. Turn this foundation face down after my opponent tries to draw or add cards. I flip, and now they no longer get to do that. What a strong, unbelievably strong card. This is one of the main reasons people want to play retro in the first place. For any of my people currently in standard, this card is just venomous with a block, and it flips instead of destroys, but not playable while committed. And the last card in the deck is for Hazoku Prince. And I wanted to play Hazoku last just because it is a little bit of an off card. The whole point of this is once I get a couple Hazoku Princes inside of my staging area, I'm just going to start dragon tonguing them every turn. And that is the game plan there. Because this card just can't leave your staging area due to any effect, my effect or your effect. And so we just get to stick with it with Dragon Tongue. And so there you have it. There is Elisabeth. If you like this profile, make sure you check out all of the matches that Elisabeth played here on the channel. Check out all the other profiles that we had from this week's campus championship. Or if you're into the other retros, go check out the other retro rounds. And then lastly, if you've got a really cool retro deck that you want to see, you want to go out and support us, go to patreon.com/TCGUniversity. Sub out there at the $1 level, get access to our Discord, and communicate with us about this really awesome Elisabeth idea that you have. And I guess lastly, if you want to catch all these matches live and see the decks in action, go out to twitch.tv/TCGUniversity. Please follow out there, get the notifications whenever we go live every Tuesday. We would love to see you guys in chat. So from all of us here at TCGU, thank you very much for watching, and stay learnt.